but rather put it on digital.
Exactly.
And not worry about broadcasting.
Not at all, and even
not worry about the P&A.
Not even worry about the theatrical in case.
So Tiska, that opens up a lot of opportunity for you as an actress.
Yeah, certainly.
And
that is always welcome. What I had noticed from a lot of films that I've done, one burns one's heart and soul in making a film, and then because the distribution or the P&A is not good enough, or it's an indie sort of film or a niche sort of thing, then it becomes extremely difficult to send that film out into the larger world. With the advent of digital stuff, it's become so much easier to be able to directly access your audience, and if it's good, then word of mouth sends the film into another orbit. As in the case of Chutney, it's at 47.5 or something million views. So we spent 0 rupees on advertising it, nothing at all. So yeah, I think it's just absolutely fabulous, both for the audiences and for the makers, because the audiences also don't want a overly marketed film which is pushed down their throats every single day. And the makers, of course, want to not spend additional money on top of the product. I'd rather spend on making a very good film than on just pushing it out there. So I think it's a win-win.
Raghav?
Yes, sir.
How about you? What are the differences that you've seen? You know, you were a struggling actor, then moved into the...
That's right.
Has that got anything to do with the social media presence?
Actually, no, the money was really good. There wasn't anything else to it. Telugu is a very cash-rich business. I do think the cinema is rather formulaic, but yeah, you know, you need to...
But did you get any international offers based on your social media presence?
No, I think largely it was based on what people perceive to be talent, but not really on the basis of social media presence. No.
Okay. So you're good to stay in a regional space, Vivek, and you think that it is going to, the alternative content also that you're creating.
So that's another thing that you can keep in mind. You can't rely on syndication, of course, because it depends on the appeal of your content. And if you make something that flops, no one's going to pay for it. For film promotions, using YouTube as a film promotion platform, so a lot of people would pay for that. On top of that, there's selling rights to your content, say music rights. If you have a web series and you have some original music in that, you can release it on Apple Music Store and these kind of things. So there's a lot of ways that you can earn money from your content apart from YouTube advertising. So it's important to keep it in mind.
I don't think you imagine the success that Chutney would get.
No.
Was it because of the internet penetration?
Absolutely. It's on YouTube, free for anyone to view, and no clue. Absolutely none. I think we were just very focused on making this story. I think also what's interesting about a platform like YouTube and the digital space is that everyone can find their own kind of content. You know, it doesn't have to be that one big blockbuster film. There's micro content. So a short film is like a bikini. Because it is so short, it has to be so precise. So I think it's precisely to the people who like it, they will watch it. And if you don't like it, you won't get the number of views that you want. And that is the magic of it, that you can reach your target audience, your TG, very, very precisely. I like that part about the digital platform very much.
Over to you, Paula. What do you see? The difference between the emergence of premium platforms on localized content, right? Mm-hmm. And Vivek, guys like Vivek are going to create more and more alternative content. Guys like Raghav is going to create more and more content. Raghav, of course, is a multi-talented guy. I mean, do you see it is important to have multi-skill sets to be successful on digital?
Yes, it is.
Commercial, Bollywood, you've done television, you're doing digital content now. Did you ever feel that you didn't have the creative accomplishment or as a talent that you are aspiring to see that when the digital has emerged? For example, your Chutney is a good example. Does it give you more appetite to go and create such content?
I'm not
all
sure.
The dreams that you had, all the dreams that you had, that you would have wanted to create, act in a certain character, you would have missed out those opportunities. Do you see digital giving that opportunity to really live those dreams out there?
Yes, absolutely. I think this piece that I used to perform 15, 18 years back, Chutney, I used to perform it as a monologue at the Platform Theatre in Prithvi. When I was starting out, we were not even given slots inside Prithvi. And we wrote it then and as a short film and put it on YouTube, and it did well. So yes, I do see that. I think largely what works on the internet, from whatever little I understand, is there has to be a great deal of passion behind what you do. That will find resonance and its own sort of audience. So certainly it is, you can create content that you've always aspired to, and if it doesn't work for whatever reason, it's not like a year and a half gone into the production and that kind of many crores gone into the making of a feature film. So it's easier off the shelf. And you, as Paula mentioned, that it's extremely gratifying for a performer, because you know immediately and instantaneously. And also the whole system of films is where there's a whole lot of hogwash. When a film comes out, you hear 100 crores, 200 crores, 500 crores, etc. You don't know how much of that is true, not true, how many of those numbers are fudged. No one really knows the back end of films, the distribution end. Whereas YouTube is extremely transparent. You know, you see a clear scenario of how your views are going, what times your film is viewed at maximum, what is the demographic of the people. The algorithms tell you a lot of details, which is very interesting. So I like that whole idea of knowing exactly who your audience is and what they liked, and there are the whole comment section will tell you what they liked, what they didn't like. So it's almost like having a private interface with your audience, which for a performer, it's as close to theatre as possible, except in a theatre you can seat a maximum of, the largest audience I've ever performed to is 2,000 people at Stanford. Beyond that, I've not performed to a bigger audience than that. So I think YouTube in that sense has a quality of theatricality to it, to performing to a live audience in a way that it's very direct, very quick, very immediate and very transparent. So that's the beauty of it.
No, I agree with you, but these days I see a lot of creators fudging the views there also, because they push a lot of advertising there.
Yeah, sure. I'm quite unaware of all of that, because we're quite new in that sense. But I've heard of that too, that you buy views, etc.
It's not buying, actually. They push the ads to reach to the X amount of views. That also helps the video to go to a trending mode, suggestive, then goes into the trending mode. So, but having said that, digital as such can help you even stop fudging those numbers at the theaters. That's the good news. And if you look at the success that Marathi cinema like Sairat has seen, you wouldn't have seen those numbers 5 years ago. It's the transparency that's come into the system by the internet penetration and stuff like that. Vivek, as a maker, I was just wondering, do you have any suggestions for alternative content makers? Do you have any suggestions for alternative creators?
Well,
alternative cinema creators.
For alternative creative, for alternate content, for the originals, I would just try to say that keep making up the good stuff, live up to the expectations, and match the standards that the Netflixes and the Amazons. Of course, you need the money, and no Indian platform gives that sort of money, but I'm sure times are here to change. In terms of filmmakers, I would only advise them to concentrate on their content, keep the budgets very rational, start editing the screenplay so that you waste very little resources, and use all that is available to us, right from the script labs to the film festivals to all platforms, so that you can